Greetings to everybody on behalf of Heartfulness Institute and on behalf of American Telugu Association. We are very happy to invite all the members of Telugu community from entire America, as well as the physician community from the entire America, to this spiritual panel where we could interact with our guru, revered Daaji, from the Heartfulness Institute. From the Heartfulness Institute, the members of Heartfulness Institute are very grateful to the leadership of American Telugu Association, our president, Srimati Madhu Bamineni Garu, for this opportunity to come on to this panel, because somehow ATA membership have pulled revered Daaji to this meeting. He himself wanted to come meet with ATA members and ATA community to address all of us here. We are very grateful for that. And I am very honored to announce about the new book that's being released, which has been written by revered Daaji. The new book is Spiritual Anatomy, that is being released in a couple of weeks this month on October 24th. And our team will post the link for that, and it's a wonderful book. There is one information that I would like to share about this book that revered Daaji talks about, is how the ego can be refined and it can become a very fine instrument in the human hands when humility is added to the being, and love will shine forth and bring the best out of the human being. I'm very tempted to share a very funny story between a guru and a disciple that I heard recently. A guru and a disciple were traveling, and he's a newly initiated disciple, and the master travels with him, and they come to a farmer's barn, and that night they had to stay there, and the barn had a bunk bed, and the guru sleeps on the bottom bunk, and the guru sleeps on the top bunk, and the disciple sleeps on the bottom bunk. And the guru says, "Oh, your voice is so sweet. Why don't you sing for me?" And the disciple starts to sing. And that wakes the farmer up, and he comes and gives a little beating to the disciple. And the master asks him, "Are you upset that you got a beating?" "No, master, I can do anything for you." And then again they try to fall asleep, and the master again wakes him up and says, "Your voice is so sweet, why don't you sing again?" And the disciple again starts to sing. And the farmer gets irritated again, and he comes down and he beats the disciple. The disciple is someone like me. He gets, "What is this master? I love him, and he's trying to get me beaten every time. So I have to convey some message to my master." And so he tells his master, "This downstairs bunk is very comfy and soft. Why don't you sleep here at the downstairs bunk, and I will take the upper bunk?" And the master says, "Sure, son, please." So the disciple moves to the down bunk, and the master moves to the upstairs bunk. And then the disciple offers, "Master, do you want me to sing for you this time?" The master says, "Sure, please do sing." And the disciple this time raises his voice and sings even louder. And the farmer even gets irritated, and he says, "I tried to convey the message to this fellow, and he's not listening. I need to really give him a strong beating." So he comes to the barn, and he looks at the master sleeping on the downstairs bunk, and he almost picks him up, and he pauses for a minute and says, "I beat this guy up twice, and he did not get the message. I really need to beat the guy on the top bunk. He probably did not give a proper message to the guy downstairs." And so he climbs the top bunk and beats the guy on the top. So the disciple gets the third beating. So what is the message? The master knows what he's doing. In this book, Spiritual Anatomy, the revered Daaji conveys this message of a subtle message that the only responsibility that the Guru has is to refine the ego of the student, of the disciple. And refining the ego of the disciple is about humility and awakening the love. And when that love is awakened, the soul shines in its own beauty. And this book is very close to our hearts. And we really are grateful to revered Daaji, because this book cannot be read, it has to be experienced. Every sentence in this book is very touching to the heart, that it takes time for us to absorb. It is a journey that each individual has to undertake. So with a lot of gratitude, we invite all our members of the Telugu Association to take part in purchasing this book, experiencing this journey of heartfulness, with meditating with revered Daaji with transmission. So I request Madhu Garu to invite our panel members as well as revered Daaji to this panel. Thank you, Andy. Thank you for this opportunity that ATA has provided us to be with revered Daaji.
Thank you, Uma Garu. Should I just, well, first of all, I would like to thank you for this opportunity. It's wonderful. I know it's only a couple of weeks ago that we met with, in Daaji's presence, and we're so happy to be. It's our privilege to be here again today, and our board members, some of our board members, and our leadership are also online. Should I, Uma Garu, should I wait for Daaji to be on, or can I go on?
Master would be joining any minute. At least if you can start introducing our ATA members, Harilinga Garu are online, and
Yes.
Anil Reddy Garu is online. So if you want to introduce them to our members.
Sure. Yeah, today many of our ATA members and board members are delighted to be in Daaji's presence today. I would like to introduce Hari Lingala. He's actually joining from far away, he's not here. So he's our executive director, and our past president, Bhunesh Bujala, and Kanha Karasireddy, they're all here. Many of them were there at Kanha Ashram and also met Daaji at other times. And our BOT and the conference director, Anil Reddy, Board of Trustees, Raghuvi Reddy, past Board of Trustees, Vijay Kundu. And then a very dedicated follower from our hometown, Purishmut Kanha, is also here. It's very happy to be on board. And our conference coordinator, Sridhar Tirupati, and advisors, Hanumanta Reddy Garu and Karnakar Madhavar, and many others. I don't want to take too much of the precious time, but all of these are very happy to be on the camera and then offline also to be a part of this discourse today. So we're grateful to be for this opportunity to be with Daaji.
I also wanted to share one quote, a very profound quote that I read from the Spiritual Anatomy book. It says, "Power of ego is uplifted." This is quote from revered Daaji himself. "Power of ego is uplifted by humility and love, and is refined with clarity to bring the human being to the highest, to its utmost heights." That quote really touched my heart when I was reading revered Daaji's book. And let us wait for his presence with love in our hearts to receive whatever the message that revered Daaji has to offer to all of us. Hari Garu, do you have any words to share with us? We are very happy to see you. You are the first one to initiate the ATA board meeting and this collaboration of ATA with Heartfulness Institute. And we are very grateful to you, Andy.
Namaste, Uma Garu. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a great pleasure, as usual, to be part of Heartfulness. And also, it's immense pleasure that, now I'm going to see Daaji Garu and listen to him. What else, we need in life. So I'm too far away. And still, just for this program, I rushed here and joined. Thank you, Madhu Garu, for involving me. And, and actually for few months, we slowed down this collaboration between ATA and Heartfulness. Again, Madhu Garu took initiative and Uma Garu. And then again, you brought back and we are on track again. And I hope this continues forever and ever again. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you, Hari Garu. And one other thing that I would like to share is our conference is happening in Atlanta next year. It's an 18th ATA conference and youth convention. We are hoping and praying Daaji will be able to, come there during that time. It's going to be June 7th, 8th, 9th of 2024. I hope it will work out in his schedule to be there. We tried last time in 2022, as it didn't work, but we're going to make sure, hopefully with this set schedule, that it'll work for him to be present in Atlanta in June.
We also are deeply praying from all of Heartfulness members from US are also deeply praying that this will happen because Revered Daaji has not visited US for a long time. And even last year when ATA happened and we were all desperately waiting for him to come to US. So all of us are praying together with you so Daaji can come to US next year for ATA function.
We are actually looking forward to see him in December when our team is there at the ashram. So we're planning to visit.
Yeah. Yes, a couple of days ago, last meeting, we had Dr. Katula, who is president-elect of API, has joined us last meeting, and he was fortunate enough to meet Revered Daaji a couple of days ago, and he sent us a message that how incredible it was to meet with Revered Daaji. And we are very, very happy that he got an opportunity to be there. Because meeting Daaji online is different and being in his presence is totally different. Revered Daaji is here. Namaste, Master.
Namaste, Daaji.
Namaste, Magaru.
Namaste, Master.
Namaste.
Pranams to everyone. Andakini namaskaram.
Pranamam, Daaji. On behalf of American Telugu Association and members of our Telugu community, it's an honor and our privilege to be here with you today. It actually fills my heart with joy to be in your presence once again after a recent session just a couple of weeks ago. So thank you, and thank you for giving us this opportunity. Many of our members, our ATA members, are here on the panel we just introduced, and we're just waiting, for you to enlighten us with your blessings and the words of wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhu.
Master, would you like to say something, or would you like to receive some questions from the panel?
All yours. Questions will be better.
Okay, Master. Today we have on the panel a member of ATA API, Dr. Gopal Sirivolu Garu. He is a member of Chinmaya Mission from Orlando, Florida. And he's also the director of Vishwavidyapeeth Adishankara Mission from Cochin. Dr. Gopal Garu, if you can unmute yourself and submit your question to revered Daaji.
Namaskar.
Pranams, or revered master. My name is Gopal Sirivolu. Thanks to ATA, the members here, for giving me this blessed opportunity to be part of this satsang. Some of my friends are part of this group. Madhu Garu, Srikant Garu, Bhavani Shankar Garu. So we have been having this Gita study going on, and we finished the 7 years and we finished the 7th chapter. The question I wrote to Uma Garu was, without jnana, there is no dhyana, and without dhyana, there is no jnana. So how do we, I'm referring back to chapter 6 of Gita, Bhagavan Krishna's reference. So how do we, on a practicality, how do we integrate this so that we can make this mind pure to receive that knowledge, to gain the knowledge of the self? That's the question.
Thank you. In order to answer you that, let's first try and understand the difference between karma, shrama, the difference between material life and spiritual life, bhautik and adhyatmic. Then we'll be able to understand the importance of jnana and where jnana fails. Shrama is related to this world where we are passing our time on this karma bhumi. I would call it shrama bhumi as well as karma bhumi. What you are doing, what all of us are doing to earn our bread and butter a little extra is called shrama. Karma is all related to Brahma Vidya. We have to understand that much. Karma can take us inward. Shrama is all about outward. In order to go inward, you really don't need jnana. It is our nature. It is our primary nature to go within. But the need of the external world where we are involved with shrama, material world, we often come out. For that we need knowledge. How to perform my duty as a doctor, how to perform my duty as a housewife, how to perform my duty as whatever profession we are in. That needs knowledge. Whatever karma, whatever shrama we are performing, and to elevate the shrama to a karma level, we have to add devotion to it, passion for it, love for it. Imagine a doctor who hates his work as a medical professional, or a farmer who hates his work, or a housewife who keeps throwing the vessels in the house and does nothing but make noise. Would you love to enjoy that food from such a wife? Same thing with doctors. If doctors remain irritable, how many patients can you see? Or will they come to you? You will not enjoy, neither others who are coming to us, they will also not enjoy. So, shrama without passion, shrama without devotion, which Lord Krishna talks about, shrama without bhakti becomes labor. Likewise, you perform or you try to gain knowledge of this world, but there is no devotion, bhakti, or there is no intermingling of bhakti and jnana, then jnana becomes foolishness. It represents your foolishness. Jnana is mainly for the external world. It has nothing to do with spirituality. Let me make my point clearer. Gyan, knowledge that there is God. Is it enough? Gopal Garu, is it enough to have knowledge that God is there?
No, it's not enough. Here we are talking the knowledge of the self.
Knowledge of the self. Once we know, then what happens? You are reinforcing your identity and individuality. Then there is difference between, not a difference, but you are standing as yourself and there is God. What do we do in prayer? I offer prayer, I close my eyes to an individual or an entity that is whom I consider as God. So there is duality, dvandvas, bipolarity. When I forget myself and I try to dissolve my awareness, my consciousness, my chetana in godliness, in divinity, then becoming less and less from my side and allowing the Lord to incorporate himself into my existence in totality. That is real achievement, I would say, or attainment. Having knowledge that God is there, or even Atman is there within myself, self-awareness, self-knowledge, it still doesn't make any sense. They say, our ancients, our elders, they say, we have to experience the presence. Knowledge is good. Experiencing divinity is better. But if I experience that divinity once in a while, or even for 10 days or 10 years, is it enough? I come to you, spend 3 months, enjoy your hospitality, rich hospitality. And then I come back to India and say, look, Dr. Gopal, he hosted me and I spent 3 enjoyable months. His richness is something, the richness of his heart, richness in his generosity and offering. But deep down, though I have experienced the hospitality, I would feel that I should become as rich, if not more, like Gopal. So divinity is also like that. Once in a while, experiencing divinity is good. But to become divine, enjoying the hospitality of a rich person versus becoming rich yourself are two different things. So here we are seeing this, you see the gradation that knowledge that God is there is good. Knowledge that self, Atman is there is good. To experience that is a different matter. Having experience also is good, but to become divine ourselves is a different matter altogether. And then as we proceed beyond Sahasra Dal Kamal, which is all about Sat Chit Anand, there is only bliss there. That too becomes a burden to us eventually. How long can you be in a total blissful state? It's like honey bee soaked in honey pot, how long can it survive? It will die. So our consciousness, Sat, Chit, Anand, having attained the truth, Chit becomes blissful. That is also related to consciousness, where you enjoy such a level of refined consciousness that gives you such a joy, unparalleled joy. Nevertheless, it is still joy. My Guruji Maharaj used to say, children play with their toys. They enjoy playing with toys. You take away and they cry. Romance as teenagers and your adulthood. Who doesn't like it? We all love it. One person disappears and you're all heartbroken. We love to play with these toys. As yogis, they're also playing with toys called consciousness. They also play. They also derive some level of bliss, anandam, they say. So my master was very poignant, very clear about what should be our goal. If Satchitanand is a goal, it is still limited. He said, go beyond Sahasradal Kamal. Most people get trapped. And that's why they are not able to go beyond the seventh chakra. Because you attain so much of bliss there and you don't feel like moving above it. And that's why our yoga sastras don't talk about chakras beyond Sahasradal Kamal. There is much more to attain. Go beyond consciousness. Find out what supports this consciousness. And that is not knowledge. To venture into this realm of finding what supports the consciousness is our true journey. So it is neither knowledge, nor shrama, nor karma, nothing at all. I mean, we begin though with shrama, we begin with karma, we try to gain some knowledge. We feel satisfied. Incorporate bhakti, your devotion, your passion into whatever you do, however mundane it may be. You're cycling, you're exercising, taking food. There must be some passion, there must be some joy in doing whatsoever you're doing. And it becomes divine act when we bring in godliness into it. That's why we offer prayers before we take food. Soon as we get up in the morning, we offer prayer. Before we go to sleep, we offer prayers. That is to incorporate this love for God, we call bhakti, devotion, into all that we do. We have to go beyond just praying and remain prayerful. Go beyond meditation and become meditative. Experience divinity and become divine. This is the call of spirituality. Knowledge is not enough. Can you ever attain knowledge of God who is infinite? Never possible. That's why they say the letter can be as long as the sky. The pen can be from a Kadamba Vriksha. The name of a pen can be from the plant tree called Kadamba. And the ocean can be full of ink. And you begin to write the description of the Lord. Even Saraswati will get tired of it. You can't. So knowledge is not enough. Then what is the final state if knowledge is not enough? Kabir Sahab talks about it in a very simple and indirect way. That is like raindrops falling in the ocean. becomes the ocean. My awareness dissolving in divinity. That means I have arrived home. And when you arrive home, you will not even know it. One who has dissolved, like the drop of water, raindrop falling in the ocean, that individuality has become now cosmic reality. There is no individual left to say, I know this. So best don't know yourself, forget yourself. That was the call of my master. He says the best thing is forget yourself, incorporate him in your life. Life will change.
Thank you, Master.
Thank you. Thank you, Master.
Thank you, Gopal Guru.
Before I introduce the next panel member, Master, I do want to mention that Harilinga Garu from ATA is on the panel, who was the main initiative person for us,
Yes.
for our contact for
Namaste, Daaji.
Namaste, Hari.
Namaste, Daaji. Good. It's great, immense pleasure seeing you, Daaji, and
Mine too.
hearing
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Tell me.
Yeah. It's a great pleasure, and that's what we were talking before you just joined. This association and this thing should continue forever, and every week we practice, and very often we would like to see you and hear to you and get wisdom from you. It's immense pleasure, Daaji.
Thank you, Hari. So, what you have any question?
No, Daaji, I'm learning. I'm listening. Yeah.
Okay.
Next,
Thank
I would like to invite Dr. Sai Girdhar Thumsi. He's the secretary of Satya Sai Baba Mission, and he's also a neurology pharmacist with Cigna. Dr. Sai, if you can unmute and submit your question to Revered Daaji.
Jai Shri Krishna, Daaji.
Jai Shri Krishna, Dr. Sai.
I'm a neurology pharmacist, as she said, and I'm a Satya Sai Baba Global Council service coordinator for the Orlando region. And I'm also a student of Gita from Chinmaya Mission for the last 7 years. And with all humble pranams to Lord Krishna, who I always adore and sincerely think about him all the time. I had one question, Master. This question is regarding, learning about Bhagwan's and applying it is what I try to do. And essentially, Heartfulness has really accomplished that task since the time of learning the 6th chapter of Dhyana Yoga. I wanted to really contemplate on myself. And thanks to Brother Shrikant and all our members, I was really able to see more into this aspect of Dhyana Yoga in a practice in Heartfulness meditation. My only question is, how does Heartfulness meditation help an Abhyasi to elevate an individual from the Apara Prakriti to the Para Prakriti as told by Krishna in Gita? That's my question. So Bhagavan says, he talks about the lower nature, the higher nature. And as a Jnani, Bhagavan says that even as we have different stages of bhaktas, Artha, Artharthi, Jignasu, and Jnanis. And Jnani is the one who stays alert. He understands the nature of the lower nature. He understands the body, mind complex, but still is aware of the higher nature of Bhagavan, and he's in love with that. So Bhagavan always recognizes that part of the Jnani. So as a Heartfulness meditation Abhyasi, I would like to hear from you, how does it make a difference for us to learn and grow from the lower to higher nature? Thank you.
Thank you. In order to understand that, para, apara, bhakti concepts, we'll have to also understand what is karma what is akarma, what is vikarma, because they are connected. Lord talks about attaining the state where you perform karma, but you don't get the impression of the karma. In other chapters, he would talk about how to attain such a state. He also talks about by giving indirect example of lotus leaf living in a dirty pond, unimpressed by its surrounding. These are the goals. He says, arrive at a state of akarma. Arrive at a state like lotus leaf. He also gives, these are the goals he talks about. Apara bhakti, it's a goal. How to arrive at it? So these three things are connected, very closely connected. Interwoven rather. He gives various examples. Only way we can arrive at that state is the advice that he gave to Arjuna. And that recollect that advice and still knowing that advice, having that knowledge of what he said, we still remain unfulfilled. Knowledge is there, arrive at akarma. Knowledge is there, attain apara. Knowledge is there, become like lotus leaf. How to? That also he gives example. When after giving the darshana to Arjun, when he is not able to understand anything, and allows him this Vishwarup darshan, look who I am, and shows all what has already happened, and he is merely becoming an instrument. Anyway, he is so frightened at that moment. My Lord, I am not able to see your real form. Please come back to that friendly form. I am blessed because you are my friend. You showed me this Vishwarup. But what about others coming after us? How will they understand you, your divinity? People coming 10,000 years later, 5,000 years later, 100,000 years later, how will they know your divinity? He gives an example. He directly says, various slokas are there related to, I dwell in every heart. So, Hridayame Pashyasi, experience myself in your heart. Right? This is knowledge. Even if you have the knowledge from the books, how will you experience that divinity in your heart? Question always remains. You have attained the jnana, you have completed the whole book, yet we respectfully create a beautiful murti of Lord Krishna with Radhaji. I also have it. I am not against it. Unfortunately, we remain superficially satisfied by adoring, by remembering, by worshipping. It remained a mere ritual. How to experience Krishna consciousness in my heart? For an argument's sake, in order to experience anything, can I touch an experience? It's only touch. Even when five senses combine together, imagine Arjuna himself was frightened seeing that. You will tremble. to perceive through dhyana is the only way. Because in dhyana, as we meditate on a daily basis, our consciousness also adjusts with the spiritual dose that descends from above. There is an incremental level of acceptability in the heart. As we are able to increase our threshold of acceptance, there will be more and more descent of the divine flow into us. All of a sudden, if you get it, you will not be able to tolerate it. You will say, please stop it. So we have to increase our capacities. It's like, I was like yourself, I was also a pharmacist. And while I was an intern, I shouldn't say this, but my pharmacist, he used to take 5 milligram of Valium tablet made by Roche in those days. There was no generic then. Generic came much later, diazepam 5 milligrams. He would, moment he enters the pharmacy, he would take 5 milligram diazepam. After lunch, he'll have another 5 milligram. Before he goes home, he would have another 5 milligram. And in between, if his wife calls and disturbs him, he'll have one. So, but if a person like you or me take even 1 milligram of diazepam, you cannot stand on your legs. If such is the case, with mere molecules, imagine you talking about divine grace that is descending. So we have to meditate daily with love, experience so that we can become more, so to say, tolerant. It's like increasing weight capabilities, weight lifting capabilities. I can increase. Today I lift 5 kilos, tomorrow 6 kilos. I try to lift 100 kilos, it may not happen. And even if I try to and I'm successful, I'll hurt my back. We don't want to create wrinkles in our consciousness. I should not force myself and say, oh, I experience Krishna consciousness, but I'm getting a headache. But you're not used to that level of purity. See, in order for me to resonate with Krishna consciousness, my consciousness should also resonate in same sync, with the same sync, same frequency. But with the impurities that I have, the complexities I carry within myself, my frequency will be only grosser. It's just like oil and water. Can they mix? They can't mix. Earlier, I was talking to Dr. Gopal and gave the example of raindrops falling in the ocean. They can merge. Imagine Emoco's oil floating in the water. It has happened, no? It floats forever. So one can remember the Lord, but you're still like oil and water. When even the remembrance drops, when the separation doesn't even exist between myself and him, I become him. It's like you must have seen the images, visual graphics made by our elders are so powerful. I share with you a story of Mother Radha and Lord Krishna. I don't know how to express it exactly, but this is how it goes. She was in remembrance of the Lord with intensity. And she was reciting his name, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And time came. She started reciting Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. You could see in remembering him, became him, and he started reciting Radha. There's another visual photographs. I call it visual graphical message, where Radha is looking at herself in a pond. Instead of seeing her image, she's seeing Krishna's image. She's so much in osmosis with him, complete osmosis, that you become him. And that's what happens in meditation. When you meditate on the essence of divinity, forms disappear. Even if Lord Krishna comes, or Lord Jesus comes, or Prophet comes, or Buddha comes, how many could understand him, or any of them? During their lifetime, nobody understood. Even after coexisting with him, none of his wife knew him. None of his friends knew him. Not even Arjun knew that he is the Lord. So it, with original form, even while after speaking so many words, no one could understand. Words directly coming from him, form of Lord Krishna that you see, and yet you fail to understand. Now, let me ask you a question. You create a statue. That's not original. Nothing comes closer to his original form. If the real could not change human beings, how would the copies change the human beings?
It is not the, I think it is not about the form, it is about the essence, as you said.
Exactly. Exactly.
that
That's what I'm trying to say. In meditation, we meditate in a very prayerful way that, my Lord, I don't even know you. I don't know your form, neither do I know your essence. I'm too small. I like to experience your presence. I'll keep my heart open, no conditions whatsoever. We spoil the meditation by putting conditions. That Lord looks like this, or Lord doesn't look like that. Lord has to have blue color, or red color, or yellow color. Drop all those ideas and sit with an innocent heart and say, Lord, I really, I don't know you. Please help me understand your essence. Then things will move. And that's what we do with meditation in heartfulness way. First, abolish all the ideas of godliness. Start a fresh slate. Receive his grace, his transmission. And little by little, increase your tolerance to accept that level of purity by becoming purer and purer on an incremental basis every single day. Then we can target to attain that consciousness in this lifetime. I think these two questions are enough and we meditate.
Yes, Master.
Thank you, Master. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, brothers.
I do want to mention that Jamie Turner is on the panel, as well as Dr. Madhavi Kancharla is on the panel.
All right. So, Jamie, one last question with you.
Thank you very much, Daaji. I appreciate it. I do have a question. I have an early galley print of the book. And I'd love for you to expand on a passage that you had in the book that I thought was really interesting. And I'll read it. It's just 2 sentences. But then if you could expand on it and talk to us about it, that would be great. It says, between a block of ice, a gallon of water, and water vapor, what has the greatest potential to expand and to grow? It's the water vapor. The subtler the medium, the greater the growth potential. So I was wondering if you could explain or expand on that idea of the subtler the medium, the greater the growth potential, as we all try to explore growth through your wisdom and the things that you've shared with us.
Thank you. In the mundane world, there are things like gross, less grosser, and subtler. We give the example of ice, which is grossest. Then the water, liquid water, which is in between, and the water vapor. Okay. Now, when we bring it into an interpersonal dialogue, right? Either you talk to your spouse, hey, you, right? Or you say, darling, please. And third level, where you make a thought and see response. With God also. Often when we are in trouble, we demand things for a change. What sort of a God are you? Are you capable of changing my situations? You become authoritative as if God is your slave. Versus a person closes his eyes and that's all. Asks nothing. He may have the intentions of asking, but doesn't come out. Unable to express, because he simply accepts whatsoever God throws onto you. So, whenever we make adamant, angry, insistent order, that is gross.
Ah.
Let us see, even engine, train engine, you put a block of ice. Earlier days, we used to have the steam engines. Block of ice will not make the engine run. Even if you put water, it will not run. Water will have to boil, we'll have to convert it into steam.
Mhm.
And that creates the pressure, and that turns the turbine, and the rest of the mechanism gets turned on. I feel within myself and say, oh, I like to experience God. Yeah. Knowledge is there. I like to experience. Once you experience, and then you get fed up of all these experiences and say, now enough is enough with these experiences. What next? I want to become. Having become, say goodbye to that becoming also, because that is too heavy for us. So you see, at each level, we are leaving behind, we are transcending the previous heavier stage, and we move always towards lighter and subtler and subtler and subtler. And subtler is the most potent.
That makes sense. Thank you. I appreciate that. That helps me understand the meaning of it and the importance of becoming, letting go, I guess, and surrendering and becoming the water vapor. So thank you. I appreciate that clarification.
Thank you, Jamie. I think we should meditate now. Okay, Umagaru. We are huge audience listening to all of you here. your questions and so when is the next session? Next first Sunday?
Yes, Master. December 5th is the next Sunday, Master.
November?
November 5th.
You forgot November. So you see
Start.
how Gyan is helpful. Okay,
Thank you, Master.
thank you, thank you. So please start meditation. That's all.
Thank you, Master.
Anything, Uma?
We're grateful for you, Master, that you joined us.
Hmm?
We're very grateful that you are able to join us, Master.
Oh, it's my, I love it. I enjoyed interacting with you folks. Thank you.
Thank you, Master. It'll be a long 1 month because we don't have any programs in between.
I'm tempted to say next Sunday, but it'll become too much
No, it will never be too much.
for me.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of other stuff to do. Interestingly, Julian's question prompted me to think the difference between the grosser, subtler, and the subtlest, the ice, the water, and the steam. How is that applicable in spiritual life? When we talk of this physical body, see, I can, with my eyes, I can see better. With my nose, I can smell better. But suppose if my olfactory nerve is damaged or my optic nerve is damaged, just a small wire, I can't see that. See. Imagine a thought, a little doubt that my spouse is flirting with someone. It's just a very small, subtle thought. It gives you headache. It increases your blood pressure. It makes you restless, can't even sleep. Your body becomes weak. You see the impact of the subtlest. And when we are talking of Lord Krishna here, today I think a lot of talks went around Lord Krishna. And he's known for his flute. Radha was very jealous. True or not, there is a story behind it. And there is so much significance also. That why are you keeping this flute always on your lips? If you were Krishna, what would you say? How else do you expect me to play this flute? Isn't it? And she takes it, Lord gives her this flute and see, there is nothing in it. It's empty. If there was something in it, some grosser thing in it, I would not have been in a position to play. Since there is nothing in it, I am able to play the music. So nothingness is the subtlest. Nothingness in the heart, desire-free heart, is the emptiest heart. And that's where the fine tunes come from divinity. Heart filled with vasanas becomes visham. Vishaya becomes visham. That's why Astavakra in the very first sloka tells Raja Janak, treat all these Vishayas as Visham and embrace those 5 qualities. So emptiness is the most beautiful thing. Another example I can give you is the black holes in this galaxies. What are they? They're extreme vacuum bubbles. Nothing passes through it. Not even light can pass through it. They're so potent, the subtlest of all in the physical world. In my 5th grade or 6th grade, we were taught in science the experiment with vacuum. 2 halves of the ball joined together, and you create a vacuum inside and try to separate it, even by joining them with the horses on both sides. You can't separate them. Little air you insert in this ball, and with hands you can separate it. So vacuum, the emptiness, the subtlest, is the most potent. Okay, that's all for now, and thank you everyone. Thank you, Jain, Dr. Gopal, and Dr. Sai. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Harikaru, when you come to India, visit again, please. Huh?
Sure,
Last time you came and didn't even visit us.
No, sure, Reverend Daaji, it will be a pleasure. I will.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Daaji.
Dr. Kalvakota is also. Thank you, Jamie, for joining us. Thank you, Dr. Sai.
Thank you.
Dr. Gopal, Dr. Kancharla, we will try to get you back again next time. Dr. Kalvakota, we will try to call you back next time. It was a beautiful session with Revered Daaji. Thank you, Harigaru, Madhugaru, and all our ATA members and ATA leadership. We are truly, truly grateful. We have Heartfulness members have no words to express our gratitude to our ATA leadership, because this is amazing that Revered Daaji wants to come back. For us, it means a lot that he even wishes to come back next week. Means it's just touching our hearts. So something is pulling him here. So let us continue this momentum from our hearts to work on ourselves with spiritual practice, and also in serving our fellow beings, and take this work forward in our communities. I think that is what inspires him, is if we can take this spiritual work and help one more brother or sister to be able to find this inner peace in their hearts, is what inspires him. And this message, we would like to take it forward. And thank you for all the panel members that logged in. And sometimes in the moment, we may not be able to call each one of you. And if there are any mistakes from our team side, we ask that please forgive us and bear with us. And thank you all for joining us today. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you.